there, welcome to Dollmotion. Today I got something special for you all. My fellow doll artists, Dollightful and TheDollFairy collab to make a 3-part Legendary Pokémon Repaint. After some brainstorming, we decided to make the Pokémon trio from Gen 6, Xerneas, Yveltal and Zygarde. Everyone picked his favorite. You probably already guessed by seeing my thumbnail, I took Zygarde. Zygarde's first introduction in Gen 6 was his snake form, also known as 50%. Introducing in Sun and Moon, Zygarde got also 1%, 10% and 100% forms. To match the trio best, I will only let myself inspire by a snake or 50% form. So, let's begin! For this repaint, I'll be using Monster High boy Deuce, which is perfect because he already has a snaky vibe. But first we need to take off his snake hair. For some reason this haircut did not want to come off. I even tried hot water, but nope. I eventually needed to cut it off. It seems the plastic cap and the head vinyl have molded together. After some struggle, it finally came off. And because he's going to be a snake, and snakes don't have human ears, I'm also going to remove those. With acetone, I remove his factory painted face and tattoo. Afterwards, I wash the face with warm soapy water. Time for a big body modification. With the jeweler's saw, I saw Deuce in half. This is because he's going to get a snake underbody. In this video, I'm going to try something totally new. I'm going to give him a tail consisting of many pieces, kinda like a ball joint doll. I bought 2 kinds of different sizes of strings from a local BGD store. I'm going to work with the smaller string. First, I need to attach the string to his body. Yes, this tail is going to be permanent. To attach it, I'll be using friendly form or tempomorph plastic. Just pour hot water over it and knead it to the shape of your desire. In my case, to fill up this hole. You can always dip it back in hot water to alter it. Now for the rest of his tail. I bought a big pack of friendly form specially for this project. Again, I pour hot water over it and shake the plastic to look like tiny heads. These will be on top of each other and form the tail. After a few minutes, they lose their transparency. When the plastic is all hard again, I'm going to make some holes with a lino cutter. I also cut off the sides to form a cross. This makes the tail much poseable. Everything I cut off, I can use again for another project. Let's test the tail. Wow, looking better than I thought. Let's switch to his upper body for now. Out of craft foam, I cut off his collar, cape, solar panels. Anywho, the things on his back. I cut out the long hexagon shapes and push in detail with a pencil. To cover up the holes, I glue a piece of paper between the 2 back pieces. I also made scribbly side things. To attach the foam to his body and give him some more body modification, I'll be using my trusty epoxy sculpt. With water, I give him a smooth look. And with tools, I gave him face detail, correct his head skull, and gave him long, sharp fingernails. After a day of drying, I'm going to make a better transition between the doll and epoxy sculpt by sanding down some edges. Like always, don't forget to wear a mask. His scribbly side things I simply attach by using super glue. I do the same for his beehive eye. It's almost time to color his body, but before that I'm going to mark his tail and upper body, so I will know which parts to paint green. To color his body I'll mostly use black pen pastel powder. I'm just going to dab on layers of pastels and spray the body between layers with Mr. Super Clear. Because pen pastels has such a great pigment, it only needed 3 layers of pastels. Looking marvelous! And now to make the rest of his body green, for this I'll be using Vallejo Model Colors acrylic paint. These paints are perfect for miniatures and other type of plastics and won't show many brush strokes like normal acrylic paints. With white paint, I fill in his beehive eye, paint in his nails, paint on some more stretched out hexagons, and why not already give him teeth? 2 years ago, I made an animation teaser using glow-in-the-dark and a UV lamp. So, to make this doll even more special, I'm going to paint some parts with glow-in-the-dark paint. It really gives it a luminous effect. To give the body some highlights, I dab on some green pastel powders with a brush. Afterwards, I give the upper body a spray with Mr. Super Clear. Let's begin the face-up. Well, it's more of a half face-up, being it's only one eye. I start by sketching in his eye with a light pencil. Then I fill in the whites and fill in the eye with the green acrylic paint. Give him a lower waterline and a gradient in his eye by filling it in with layers of light green paint. Time for the question of the day. This is by Sarah Darkrai. How did you get into Pokémon? Was it introduced to you, or did you find out about it by seeing it somewhere? Great question for this Pokémon repaint. Well, I saw the first ever debut Pokémon episode, Pokémon I Choose You, when I was a kid. It was of course the Dutch version, but I got hooked immediately. And well, 19 years later, and I'm still a big Pokémon fan. What was your introduction to Pokémon? Let me know. And if you have a different question, leave it in the comment section. And maybe I will answer it in the next repaint episode. Back to the repaint. With pastels and a white paint, I correct his fangs and highlight the whites in his eye. After that, a white eye shine, and to give him some sparkle, I dab on some micro glitter on his eye and the rest of his body. To seal in the face-up, I give him a final spray of Mr. Super Clear. In the meantime, I painted his tail partly black and partly green. I sprayed everything with a few layers of Mr. Super Clear. I was very excited to assemble the tail. But when I got the tail together, the paint immediately scratched off. I really need to think of a solution. So I took the tail apart again and began working on his hair, so I can think of a solution. For his hair I will be making green wefts. Hey, didn't I did this before? I knot the yarn to a big cut-off fly swatter comb it and flatten it with a hair straightener. I cut them off and glue them to a freezer bag. This makes the wefts more manageable. After a day of drying, I cut off the edges for clean, usable wefts. From some leftover yarn, I cut off tiny pieces to make flock. I have this hairstyle in mind, so wish me luck and let's start. I roll a long weft and glue this to the top of his head. I put on some more hot glue and push on more wefts around the big middle weft. To make a nice transition, I glue loose acrylic yarns around his head. And last but not least, gluing on flock. Wait for it to dry and remove the excess flock with a brush. Some cutting and hairstyling, and Zygarde can begin a J-pop band. Give him some shine on his lower water lid and lips with a high gloss varnish, and his upper body is done. Back to his tail. I finally came with a solution. I'm just going to cover every piece of his tail with epoxy glue. It's super strong and the paint will never come off. The downside is it's super shiny. But after a spray with Mr. Super Clear, I got it all matte again. Attaching the tail again, and yes, this time the paint won't scratch off, although the matte varnish will rub off a little. So I need to spray it again after a few poses. To finish the tail, I still need to make the tip. I made it out of epoxy clay for some weight. Zygarde should be somewhere here. Ah! Zygarde looks very cool in the dark. Aw, and he looks so cute together with Gardevoir. Well, we are to the end of this repaint of the Pokémon of Order. But we got more Pokémon repaint videos for you. The TheDollFairy's Pokémon of Destruction, Yveltal, and Dollightful's Pokémon of Life, Xerneas. So go watch their videos to complete the Legendary Pokémon trio. The links are in my description box. And like always, like if you liked it, and sub if you loved it. See you in the next video. Bye!